Hello, divine souls of earth. Today we are here with a reading regarding the seeds that we planted on May 1st and how they will be blossoming in your life in the coming weeks and months. And yeah, we're just kind of looking at the energy regarding May 1st, which was Beltane if you celebrate pagan holidays, or May Day, the halfway point between spring and summer. So it's a time of like revitalizing your passions and what you want to do within the year, what you want to see come to fruition. So yeah, we're just going to be highlighting on that, getting some messages of abundance coming our way. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Also, disclaimer before we get into it is that tarot and oracle do not deem you to any realities that you do not resonate with, okay? Take what resonates and leave the rest, and you will always have free will. Also, on the announcement side, I've just started a Patreon account, so if you have a few dollars that you can circulate every month, go check it out. It will be linked in the description box below, but the main benefits of subscribing to my Patreon is that you get access to all of my readings, including the weekly forecast up to 24 hours, or at least 24 hours ahead, if not a few days ahead. You also will get access to the affirmation list that I've been creating for every reading that I do post, and even meditations too sometimes. It's just a list of affirmations regarding the reading that we do, and if it's the weekly affirmations or the weekly forecast, there's just one list, but for this one there will be one list for each pile. So if you're interested, definitely go check it out. And if you want the free version of that, you can follow me on Pinterest. I don't know if people really follow each other on Pinterest, but that's also where I post those. So the Existential Healer across the board. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. These are our two piles today. We have number 1 with a pre-night chunk, and the words say suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. And then we have lapis lazuli with slimy. So with that being said, I will leave you here with the cards for a few seconds, and we will get straight into the readings. Remember to tune into the collective energy, take a deep breath, and ask your guides to lead you to the pile with the messages meant for you. Hello, pile number 1. So you picked number 1 with the pre-night chunk, or the words saying suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. So right off the bat, the seeds that you planted on May 1st, whether it's subconscious or consciously, the way they will be blossoming in your life is going to be a recognition of your own power. Okay, so a lot of star beings can find themselves, or just empathetic or spiritually led people can find themselves in this sort of situation where they know they have power, they know what joy is, they know what feels good, but the world has its hands around their neck, and it's hard for them to explore their power or feel safe in their power without someone interjecting themselves. So not only will you be building a relationship with your power, you're also going to be building a relationship that is protective of your power, and understanding the benefit of boundaries, how to do them healthily, and also sort of like building boundaries with the self that takes us out of this world completely, and creating habits that protect our healing, basically, and letting the rest of it fall away, and really maintaining the idea of our power and where we or how we would like to use it. I'm going to get straight into your reading with some tarot cards, and helping us understand these seeds you've planted and the ways they will be manifesting in your life. So we have 2 of Cups, we have 4 of Wands, and 9 of Cups. Wow. So, suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. Okay, so, yeah, sorry, this is like really, it's really exciting because you see sort of this light, this star that you are, whether it's the moon is out or the sun is out, you are always eternally burning. Like you are just full to the brim of creation and ideas and information even. And the Two of Cups is telling us that you, again, it's like this new relationship with yourself, with understanding your divinity and how it permeates what you've been led to believe about life. Your entire relationship with yourself, your higher self, your spiritual team, your spirituality as a whole is expanding because you've made this connection, okay? You've had a glimpse of the fact that you even are a star being, and maybe you've known for a while, but you're finding more validation that comes internally through meditation. It seems like is pretty strong. If you don't meditate, then it's something that you do that is like sort of like meditation. Like if I'm hearing musician and you play music or you sing, that is also a sort of meditation. Or even if you're like someone who's really connected with nature, walking in nature is a sort of meditation. So whatever you've done recently, you just have kind of this new perspective on the self and what you really want to do with your time and your magic. And the cool thing is that this relationship is going to be evolving in ways you can't even understand. Like in the next weeks and months, and even up to 2 years from now, you're gonna have so many aha moments, so many past go moments where you're understanding just how divine this relationship is, just how beautiful you truly are on the inside when you don't let these hands touch you, when you don't let them near you, okay? And even when they do still keep coming, you're not affected by them, is really the point. The healing that takes place from making a connection with your divinity makes it to where these hands could touch you. Okay, that sounds weird. These hands could get near you, but you no longer cower in fear, because even if they touch you, your material makeup is not your entire makeup anymore, because you've added these emotional levels, these healing levels, these spiritual levels to your existence. And it's not even that you've added them, you've become aware of them. And then beautifully over here with the Nine of Cups, you do learn how to build walls, okay? And it's cool too, and I'll show a close-up of the card, but the wall itself has a bunch of moons on it, has a bunch of chalices planted on it, there's a rainbow coming out of it. Like the boundaries that you create for yourself are going to be so solidified in your own healing and in your own relationship with yourself that it's not like a sandcastle wall, okay? It's never going to wash away all of the things that you're becoming aware of, or you're learning of, you're seeing for the first time in these two first cards. They're helping you build this wall spiritually and physically into where you get to enjoy your life for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, whatever these hands are, they will no longer reach you. There will be a wall so strong that their hands will break when they touch it. Like it's not, there's no question about it. You are that powerful. These things you are learning are helping you get to this point of enjoying your life, okay? So the more open you can be to these lessons and to this relationship with divinity, if you want to look into being a star seed or whatever spiritually you feel inclined to finding more out about, you know, having more information regarding a certain pantheon of gods and goddesses, or just spiritual nature, is going to help you solidify these healings, these teachings, this understanding about yourself, and will make this wall that much stronger and that much more abundant along the top, okay? Like it's I have no words, because it's just such a good feeling to finally feel you're protected, you are safe, you are surrounded by everything you could ever want, and those things that you want that are still the hands of greed, you're gonna stop wanting them. There's a few times where we come into this place of life where we don't want to get rid of all of the hands, because some of the hands are attached to people we love, but you're going to find that love is like this divine eternal thing that doesn't stop just because you don't allow people to harm you anymore. You know, you can love with detachment is what I'm hearing. So we are going to keep going. Yeah, here we go. with some more seeds that you may have planted over this May day, and you will see blossoming in your life in the coming months, weeks or months. So we see release and sincere relationships. Yeah, so again, these relationships with the self and with divinity, with your spiritual practice, maybe you are called to deity work, or maybe it's an actual relationship with a partner, because we see a couple here, it seems like first date energy and then like almost a wedding ceremony. So maybe a actual person will be coming into your life and helping you discover what that safeness feels like. And but basically, overall, trusting these divine relationships, and even if it's not a physical person, the things you're learning again at the end, no matter if this is a real partner or not, in the end, you feel so secure and so well loved that it doesn't matter if it is a relationship or not. Like, if it is, it will add beautiful things to your life. If it's not, you're still going to be very fulfilled, and you'll find a relationship anyways. But yeah, so anyways, so sincere relationships, yeah, keeping your heart open to what you want to feel related to. Are these relationships with these hands sincere? And then with release, again, there seems like releasing your attachment to these hands, releasing your attachment to the power or the blessings, or even just like the validation that you might get from these hands. Is it worth it? And is it worth you releasing them and letting go of them, and letting sort of like divine destruction clear a path, okay? Seeing what falls away in the next few months, because you are guided towards healing. You will see how much of what you think you need, you really do not need in order to feel this fulfilled, in order to feel this abundant, okay? It's all going to be coming from that mindset, that perspective, and there's going to be a lot of things coming out of your mindset or perspectives that you will be shedding and putting away that you don't need anymore, because you need more space for these upgrades, for this mental downloads, this energy coming to you. Again, more specifically, the abundance that's going to be taking place. Okay, so the abundance taking place is worth. You have been worthy to belong to love all along, without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Exactly. So this Nine of Cups here at the end, and feeling worthy of that Nine of Cups, is what's going to bring you closer to it, okay? Remembering that even when you get triggered by these hands, these unworthy hands, when you get triggered by the world, that your magic, your divinity, is more important than engaging with the toxicity of a traumatized society, okay? That felt like a very specific message, but recognizing your worth, who is worth your magic, who's worth your time, you will always be that, okay? Sometimes time spent alone is going to be the most beneficial, and sometimes a sincere relationship is what it takes for us to start trusting the world again, trusting our own divinity. You also have delusion. Intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. Okay, so whatever you intend this Nine of Cups to be, or even the Four of Wands, or what you intend this new beginning relationship to be, do it without attachment. Surrender your attachments to what it needs to look like, when it needs to be done by, and that is what will keep you open to consistently receiving. If you believe that you will be fulfilled by one thing, by one condition, that means you're putting a parameter on the abundance that's trying to reach you. When it's coming in 9 cups, you're only holding 1. You know, you want to be open to the whole 9 cups, the whole 10 cups, the whole everything, anything that's willing to pour into your life, you want to be open to it. So surrendering what you expect to be, or what you expect to know, that can also help with like the release part of it too, is setting intentions or planting intentional seeds and then releasing them and letting them grow on their own time is one of the most patient but also beautiful things, because it's a reciprocal relationship. You're helping the plant, the seed, grow, but the seed is also helping you. And so you're not going to rush it. You know, you want to enjoy the fruits at the end. So you're not going to rush the growth of the seed. You just want to provide it everything that it would need and hope that if it feels the need to ask you something, you're willing to listen, you're willing to be there with it. So yeah, and then of course you have love. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. Okay, and so that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with, like, as far as sincere relationship goes, and we do have quite a bit of imagery as far as like partnerships go. No person, place, or thing is going to be your salvation. No condition is going to be what makes you happy or what makes you feel worthy, what makes you feel love. Again, I said earlier that a relationship can help us in understanding how to trust the world again, but the thing that we're trusting is divinity itself. So we can just willpower our way into trusting again. But again, understanding that the self, yourself, is what's going to offer yourself salvation. And that literally just means that whatever, if you don't feel happy or fulfilled or Nine of Cups energy right now, it's okay. That just means you have a few habits to break down and release. And so building back up within love and worth, okay? If you don't feel all of these things right now, that just means you have somewhere to go. You have somewhere to move forward towards. It's going to be a shift in perspective is what I keep hearing. It's going to be a shift in the way you perceive love, and the way you perceive these unworthy hands, if you perceive them at all at the end of the day, or if you just put up a wall and only perceive the self in a way that you don't need the validation of anyone else. You just do what the hell you want to because it feels good, because it feels like love. It feels you feel worthy. And again, inherently, that just that brings the idea of empathizing with other people who are trying to do the same thing for themselves. So you can be loved by someone, but as long as they are also trying to validate their own love, you would encourage that versus trying to control or manipulate it. So another specific message, I guess. Let's keep going and see if we have any shadow aspects to watch out for. So we have strength, the strength card, and the clouds say go away, and it's a little speech bubble. It says, "You're right, O'Reilly, those are threatening clouds." So we're facing some storms, and again, we have like these storm clouds over here with the release. Okay, so having the strength to go through this process, I think, is what it's calling out on. Having the strength to sit with the self, okay? I'm hearing that you're going to be needing to heal quite a bit of your relationship with yourself, okay? If you've been in this relationship with the world for your entire life, again, depending on how old you are or how traumatizing it's been for you, that's going to take a lot of rehabilitation, as far as trusting yourself and trusting divinity. And you know, even just hearing these words come from me and you believing that you're worthy of this Nine of Cups or even the Two of Cups, you know, if you're having a hard time dipping your toe in the water of worthiness, it's going to take your strength. The more you keep practicing, the easier it will be for you. And that's all. It's, you know, if you're not comfortable yet, just again, it's telling you that you're going to be comfortable. If you could fathom your future self, if you're here now in the Two of Cups and you could fathom your Nine of Cups self and you can speak to them and feel how they feel, the version of you that has healed from everything that this world has put on you, okay? Fathom the idea of that person, that version of you in front of you. They feel completely worthy of everything they have. They build strong boundaries. They emit love. They are just completely surrounded by love. The only difference between you now and that person is the acceptance of who they are. They accept that they are divine, okay? Your future self accepts that they are divine. They have healed from the lies the unworthy hands have spewed at them. They've gotten used to their divinity. They've started to rely on it and started to feel it as their strength, okay? So practicing with that idea is what's going to make it easier for you in the long run. And then the other shadow aspect was in Saturn. It says depression pressing us down and keeping us still. So if it feels like at first you're losing a lot of things, if you're releasing a lot of things, and it might be relationships or habits or ideas, whatever, if it feels like you're getting rid of a lot of the self and it feels like you are depressed or grieving, you are meant to experience these emotions. This depression keeping you still and pressing you down is really trying to be intentional as far as you should be feeling your emotions, because again, if you start feeling them now, when you get through to the Nine of Cups, you're going to be able to feel your abundance tenfold. You want to really engage the body, engage the mind, and start feeling your emotions now. Because again, that's sort of like unlocking the relationship with the universe. If you're ready for the Two of Cups, you're definitely ready for the Four of Cups, and you're definitely going to be ready for the Nine of Cups after you evolve, okay? There is levels to it. Like if you go straight into Nine of Cups, it's going to feel overwhelming. Anyone who, like most people who win the lottery are broke within a few years, you know? That sort of jump in levels or jump in vibrations is overwhelming for anyone. So that's why we're starting with the release. We're starting with the depression and releasing the delusion so that we can move into gradually the love and the worth. And that's why it's not going to feel as good as it should in the beginning, because it's going to take just literally taking out one pebble and replacing it with a new one, taking out the bad pebble, putting it in a love pebble. So yeah, taking your time, building this sincere relationship with yourself and with divinity and what you really want it to mean. I'm hearing that a lot of us get wrapped up in instant gratification, whether we like it or not. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normalized to want something to be as quick as possible, as convenient as possible. But this is going to take actual inner work. Like, you're actually going to have to sit with yourself and understand and feel and internalize your divinity. Again, star being, star seed, whatever star means to you spiritually, astrologically, however you are inclined to follow this out, do so, and do it with some respect towards yourself. That's why in the beginning I think I said that the seed would be blossoming over a year or two. No matter what, you're going to be constantly evolving, okay? It's not going to be a quick, rushed process. But I also said that we don't want to rush this growth. We want to do it right so that we don't fall into delusion. Intention without surrender. We're supposed to be experimenting at first with surrender. What can you surrender first? You know, things or small relationships or like small habits like watching reality TV or whatever. I don't know, that's a direct shade, I guess. Sorry if you watch reality TV, but you know, the small habits that would help improve our mental space and help us remember that we are love, we are worthy, getting rid of the little things. And then in the long run, you're going to have those bigger things that you get to replace. And yeah, so I feel like I'm just talking over the same thing over and over again, but little positive messages to keep along the way. Let's see what they've got for us. So we have stand in a garden and be thought-free just for a moment. Yeah, so I think presence is going to help a lot with this transition. Being present, being thought-free, okay? There's nothing you need to do. There's no condition that must be met. There's no standard you have to appease. There are no more hands that you feel the need to put something in, okay? Be thought-free. You are worthy just as you are. There is nothing that needs to change, nothing that needs to move or be different. You are love right now because you are alive, okay? Because you are here listening to this message. That's it. Trust it. Trust it. We also have meditate to dispel all fears and become a beautiful, enchantingly magnetic person. Okay, so yeah, again, like what we were saying before, the only difference between your Two of Cups self and your Nine of Cups self is the mentality, okay? So you are magnetized to your desires. Whatever you let your head, your mental space look like, that's what's coming towards you. And so like people with depression, obviously, or intrusive thoughts, don't think that, again, you're deemed to some certain reality just because your mind brought it up. No, but you are deemed to the reality of what you sit in, okay, what you allow to continue to exist. So these hands of unworthiness that you allow to touch you, you continue to tell your spirit you are just as worthy or unworthy as the hands that touch you, okay? So if you decide over here, I have been worthy all along of love, and without any need to improve, I am worth, then that's the difference. It's literally a mindset. It's a mindset that has to shift. That's all. Meditation is going to be extremely helpful for you. And something that's been helping me with making meditation a bit easier is thinking of it as just using my imagination. Okay, and that kind of like goes against everything we've been talking about as far as believing things to be true, but using your mind to just imagine something versus trying to get to a meditative state, because a lot of us, especially in like the Western world, we associate meditation with like a specific idea. We all know what imagination though is, like daydreaming. If you daydream about your meditations, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to get into that meditative flow. Last positive little message for you guys is reject any desire to be like others. You are an incomparable, precious jewel. Wow. Mic drop. Okay, hold on, let me read it again. Reject any desire to be like others. Reject any desire to be like others. Exactly. I don't want to, again, like say something too many times, but the idea that's kept you in this mentality versus this mentality over here is your idea of thinking that you need to trust what these hands are trying to tell you. They don't know shit. They're trying to grasp at your light because they want some of what you have, when they inherently have it, because they are also just as alive and spiritually connected as you are, but they don't know how to find it within themselves. You are the star. You just have to liberate yourself into understanding your worthiness. You don't have to be like anyone else. There is no condition that will make you happy. It's, what do we say over here? That no person, place, or thing is your salvation. You are it. You're it, babe. You can fulfill all 9 of these cups over here because you just have that power. It all comes from within your mind, allowing yourself to feel worthy and powerful enough to do so. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you have a chance, check out my Pinterest and or Patreon to see the affirmation list connected to this reading. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and you are a precious gem. Don't forget. See you later. Hello, divine souls of pile number 2. So you picked number 2, or the slimy card with the lapis lazuli. So right off the bat, this card could be relating to you or someone in your life, but generally the energies, or the card is showing a woman with a veil, and she's kind of sitting in sliminess, and her slimy ideas, or her just being in sliminess or negativity, I guess is what the book kind of described it as. But being in this slime sometimes attracts more slime, so we have to unveil ourselves or rise out of the slime, or even recognize where we are, which is in slime sometimes, in order to get out of it. So with that being said, let's get into the tarot cards of your reading and see what seeds have been planted over this May Day. Let's see what they want to tell us. Let's do this one back here. Okay, so we have transformation, Queen of Wands, and beginnings. Okay, so this could also be really good slime too. And I think that, yeah, regarding the May Day seeds that you may have planted consciously or subconsciously, no matter what, like personally, frogs are like one of my favorite animals. So when I saw this card, I didn't necessarily like think of anything negative, but the book did describe, a jealous person with a veil shading their eyes and attracting more slime. So I think that maybe within the slime that is present in your life that you are finding room to transform and maybe even change your relationship with the slime. So if you don't like slime in the first place, your relationship with the slime is changing or transforming. If you do like slime, if you do like frogs and stuff, you're still like, you'll probably understand the benefit that frogs get from slime, you know, like this transformation. You're in a, I'm hearing like warm, dark place, like warm, moist, sorry, these words are not good, but warm, dark place, because that brings growth. Like even like with planting a seed, it's planted in like wet, slimy dirt, and you know, a tree could grow from that. So this transformation, it might feel yucky at the beginning, I think is what I'm finally getting to the point, is this transformation can feel really yucky at the beginning. It's like giving stomach ache or like nauseousness, this transformation. But the transformation is bringing you to this awareness of your energy, okay? You having Queen of Wands on the table with 2 major arcanas too, by the way, but with the Queen of Wands, you are understanding your power, okay? And it's cool too, with her wand, it has a few little leaves popping out, and that's cool. There's a leaf for each frog. Sorry, weird synchronicity, but anyways, the wand itself has little leaves coming out, and so it's kind of like you are experiencing this new growth for the first time, and it feels like a shift in perspective, or a transformation of something that is personal to you. Maybe this is you in the slime, and this transformation of your relationship with the slime is helping you recognize the actual divinity behind, you know, what you've believed to be negative or weird or quirky about yourself, but really that is your magic. That is your, you know, your personality, your higher self, your divinity coming through. And finishing over here with beginnings, basically you're going to be living in a like, I'm hearing like whole new world. I'm not a singer, but whole new world of like, just this transformation that you're going through has you understanding the world and the way it works in this entire new perspective, okay? The veil is lifted. Whatever you're feeling jealous of, if you do feel jealous, or if you feel like others are jealous of you, this beginning over here is like jealousy doesn't even apply anymore, because you have discovered your own divinity, and comparing yourself to others truly just is slimy and yucky and doesn't feel good. So you have this beginning, this new perspective to live life through, and it feels green still. Like we still have the green energy of slime and frogs and stuff. It's green of like new plants, but it's healthy. It's like I don't know, I don't have the word. It's like uplifting, you know what I mean? Whatever you felt veiled to before, the veil is gone, and you feel open and understanding to why all these frogs were near you in the first place, because you're in fertile ground, okay? Let's keep going and see what other seeds you've been planting over, or what you planted and what will be blossoming. So we have commit to happiness. Yeah, with more green stuff. Wow, okay, so I'm not even going to look at the next one yet, but committing to happiness is really important for you, pile number 2, because committing to happiness is what brings you to this new beginning. It's what inspires your transformation. It's what lifts your veil. Committing to being happy, whatever makes it hard for you to be happy, whatever makes you feel slimy or yucky, write it down and see if you can rid yourself of it. If it's a relationship, if it's a mentality, if it's just generally like you don't like yourself, who made you believe that that was important? Whatever it is you're considering, who gave you that idea? And do you want to keep that idea for yourself? You know what I mean? Do you want to keep believing that? That's kind of what the question is here. But committing to this happiness, you're surrounded by green energy, by these animals. The world wants to connect with you. Nature wants to connect with you. And maybe you are an anti-nature person, which it would be unfortunate, because nature is not anti-you, okay? There's a lot of beauty and truth that comes from nature, especially regarding divinity or spirituality. If you're just starting out, you can find out a lot about like your own truth and purpose here by studying nature, by spending time with nature, and allowing the rest of the world to fall away. Because there's also like the green of money. So if we're stuck in the green of money or the green of jealousy, that world is very confined. It's very you versus me, and no one's really allowed to be explosive and expansive and explorative. I don't know if that's a word. But the green of earth, the green of new beginnings, the green of, planting seeds and seeing the little seedlings pop out, that is completely expansive. It grows. I mean, these plants grow in whatever direction they want. They have so much potential to just keep going. It's not really, I'm hearing like if your manifestation right now has to do with money, and you have like a certain amount that you're trying to manifest, try to detach from that, because abundance is trying to reach you in other ways versus like one number, like $1 amount. That could be, oh yes. Okay, so I'm right on par with you guys. So we also have negativity. And yeah, shit's hard, man. It's hard not to be negative sometimes, but having commit to happiness right next to negativity, I think that we have to find somewhere in between, because like toxic positivity is its own version of hell, in my opinion. And if you are here, you probably agree, but negativity is also its own version of hell, because while you might feel like you have a more reasonable or realistic relationship with life, it also keeps you from seeing the magic over here. Okay, so the negativity that we've built up, again, questioning where it came from and when we started feeling this way, because inherently we're all born with this sort of zest for life and love of earth and connection to life itself, but sometimes we are conditioned out of it, and transforming back into our original selves or our higher selves or our magic selves, divine selves, whatever you want to consider it as, is going to take a lot of releasing negativity. I like to relate things to my own stories just because that's how I connect to people sometimes, but personally, I had anger issues, and I found that in my own transformation, I had to realize that I had to be the one to stop being angry. I had to realize that when my anger comes up, I have to be the one to stop it in its place and replace it with my actual intentions. And it's not always happiness. It's mostly detachment. And I believe in fairies. So if someone tells me fairies aren't real, I don't need to get angry, because it's still true to me. And that's kind of the beginning coming to you, is that you get to validate your own world. Whatever you feel jealous of, or just slimy about, or like disappointed with is the word I keep hearing, negative about, it's not your cross to bear. Like, that shit is always going to be disappointing. But if you redirect the way you're looking, literally like turning your shoulder to it and looking out to the world and letting go of this negativity, like, it's so hard, but it's so worth getting over that hump, especially when that negativity has been built out of protection. Okay, like, I'm hearing like safety of the self. Like, as a child, you had to become negative because so many things happened to you that's just what you believe now. Unraveling that is going to be really helpful in engaging with this relationship with the green that you really do wish to see, and not just keep running in circles with like the money green. Yeah, so some abundance that's going to be coming to your life. Let's see. So we have divine flow. Okay, so I wanted to take this one, but now I'm definitely going to. We have divine flow, which says, eventually one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. Right, so your desire to be at peace, to sit with nature, to sit with your magic. And I don't think I'm talking to the people who don't like nature, and even if I am, either way, whatever this means to you, your desire to be connected to your life in a grounded way, in like a positive, not really positive, but just in a balanced way. And this energy that we're obviously all seeing is going to outweigh your desire to prove people wrong, or it's going to outweigh your desire to feel the negativity of each situation. Again, it will always be there. There will always be something there to be disappointed in, or to feel like you need to right the wrong of something. It'll always be there. But your desire to feel at peace is going to outweigh your desire to, be the peace for everything else, or just be the negative reminder for everybody else. You also have outrageous openness coming into your life. It says, "Dear love, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive." So I'm hearing a little bit of feeling unworthy. Like, guys, that's not cool. Feeling unworthy. Why would we feel that? You know what's needed. So like, again, sort of being attached to these frogs, or to these things that keep us engaged with behind the veil, being detached from those and letting them find their way to their own, whether it be a small relationship, or like something going on in the world, or just a general societal issue. You hating that issue is not going to make it change. Distancing yourself from it and not allowing it to manipulate your reality or your joy is going to help you find this transformation and this beginning. Outrageous openness. Again, when we're coming from a place of negativity, it kind of makes us like short-sighted, in that we don't really realize the expansiveness behind this beginnings card. We see like a huge mountain range and tons of hills. Just, it goes on for miles. The divinity that's trying to connect to you, the abundance that wants to connect to you, the joy that wants to connect to you, it goes for miles. It goes for light years. It's so expansive. You have to be so outrageously open to it, and ready to flow into your happiness and let these things go. They're still going to come up. Like, this world is going to trigger you back into staying in this negative spot and feeling like you just can't get up. You just can't keep going on. But it's all within your mentality. It's all coming from inside of you. You have the ability to liberate yourself into this energy over here, into this and this and this. Something else you have. Oh, look. I love when this happens. Liberation. You are completely liberated. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they are you. Exactly what we were just talking about, guys. Okay, so again, the way the transformation of your relationship is going to liberate you from this energy. You will no longer be behind the veil. You'll no longer be stuck in who you've built yourself to be over time, out of protection, etc., etc. You're liberated. Just believe it. Believe it when I tell you that you are transforming into your most liberated self. And then again, on the bottom of the deck, it says flow, and has a bunch of dolphins. It says, "Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace." Exactly. Peace of mind. That's what we were talking about earlier, is having the peace. The peace factor is what's going to make you feel fulfilled. It's not even that we're finding like toxic positivity or happiness. If you're not ready for that, it's peace. It's peace of mind and a balanced state. There's nothing else that you have to tend to. You can just be happy in this moment when you connect to your divinity, when you connect to the flow, when you are liberated. Whew. Okay. Also, my heart is with you guys. Like, this is some hard work, but because you're here listening to this, I know that you're actually attempting to like complete the work, and you have nothing but my respect. Because again, there's a lot of people who will just continue to live their life in this slimy negative idea, and it's unfortunate because there's an entire version of life that comes out of liberation and flow and openness and beginnings and magic. You get to discover that you are on this path. That's what this means, you being here. Okay, so I pulled these two as like shadow aspects that could possibly be relevant. The first one says, "You've been offered the experience of individuality for a lifetime." So we literally see a person diving out of his mind. Like, out of his business persona, okay, liberating himself into his individuality. And it's giving like the same energy as this dolphin over here, of just diving out of whatever you think you have to do, diving out of this veil and becoming a frog yourself. You know, these things that keep you veiled or keep you jealous or keep you negative, do they really even matter to you? Or have you just been conditioned so well that you believe you're supposed to care about them, when really, even if you do care about them, are you changing them by caring this much? Probably not, you know, and that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, especially depending on the factor that it is we're trying to change. But your job is not to save the world, it's to experience it. So liberate yourself and start experiencing it with peace of mind. Nothing has to change except for that mentality, except for this idea that keeps us with our eyes closed or behind this veil. You know, lifting the chin up to seeing the beauty that does constantly surround you. And again, we have romance, passion, and occasional folly. So being more silly, being more childlike, being goofy, like that part, that version of happiness, it's not the fake version of like, oh, I'm not even gonna go into it because, you know, I'm working on my negativity, all right? But having like romance and passion, and you still get to have this like realistic fire about you. You know, if it comes to your plate and someone is trying to bullshit you, by all means go for it, but don't seek that shit out, because you get to exist in happiness as long as you regard yourself as happy. You get to exist within the flow as long as you regard yourself as flowing. Again, yeah, that romance, passion, and folly, it's just calling to be a little bit more playful and have that spark of joy internally. If it's not coming from the world, you have to give it to yourself. You can't just keep waiting for the world to make you happy. It will not happen, okay? It has to come from within you. This liberation is self-liberation. And then just as a few little positive messages to keep with yourself throughout the week. Let's see what we get. Okay. So we have explore life and create your own experiences. Let go of being normal. Okay, so this is definitely my group. Let go of being normal. That is the most liberating thing you can do for yourself, of just doing whatever the hell you want, letting go of embarrassment or judgment or anything. Just stop looking at people when you're out in public, because if they weren't there, like whoever you are when no one's looking, whoever you are when you sing in the shower, whatever, be that person 100% of the time. And that's going to take some work. This transformation is a process. It's going to take some work, but start working at it. Start experimenting with it, and it'll come more easily to you. Like, I was explaining this exact topic to a younger sibling of mine, and they were talking about being embarrassed, like, for existing, basically. And so I was like, I'm not embarrassed to do anything. And my partner and I literally got out in the middle of traffic and started like dancing with no music. It was awful dancing, but it wasn't embarrassing because I get to do whatever I want. I do have free will. I don't have to judge myself, and anyone who is in a surrounding car, or even my little sibling, judging me does not affect the truth that I live within. And that truth is that I'm here to have fun. You know, I can't change any of this bullshit, so I'm just gonna have fun in the space that I know that I do feel good. Okay, might be an overshare, sorry. But anyways, I feel like it applies, you know, letting go of that idea that you can be embarrassed by anyone's opinion of you. Screw that, you know, it just keeps you locked up from liberation. You also have let go of the old tales and write your own adventure. Same thing again, you know, and that's really, once again, asking me to highlight, like, the things that you believe to be important, do they actually matter to you? Not to the people who you believe have it all right, or, you know, like parents, teachers, society, whatever has conditioned you to think this way. How do you want to think? How do you want to feel? What relationship do you want to have with beauty or success, or just self and divinity? You get to decide. It's completely up to you. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe anybody else's words for anything. And then the last one you have says, let go of yesterday, as what you do right now is more important. Yeah. That stubbornness, exactly like what we were talking about earlier with the negativity of how hard it is to push yourself past it, especially personally. Again, like if I feel negative and I know I want to be positive, but I've already committed to feeling upset, you know, and pushing myself out of that and completely adopting my idea of liberation or even just peace is so hard. It's so hard when you're used to being upset by the world. But yeah, so whoever you were yesterday, don't let that version of you let you feel less than or less open to what you deserve. You know, you were ignorant, and that's okay. You were ignorant to what your possibilities are, and that's okay. But now you're no longer ignorant, so you have the choice to liberate yourself from the negativity or keep living within it. And you know, it's kind of shitty advice, but it is just up to you, and it really truly is. Bottom line, I'm here to be real with you and not sugarcoat it. You have to be the decider of your own happiness. It's never going to come from the world. I promise you that. Anyways, that's all I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here. If you do have a chance, check out my Patreon or my Pinterest. I'll be posting a list of affirmations regarding your reading that you can save as like a phone screensaver or something. But yeah, I love you guys with all of my heart. This is you. I believe in you so much is what I want to say. I believe in you so much because it, again, is so hard to face yourself and change things. Like, it's easy for someone to tell you, okay, this is what you got to start doing, or you read a book and you start doing it, but to apply it within yourself and truly just tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to be angry today, or I'm not going to be negative today. You got this. I promise you, what's on the other side of it is so worth it. Just start experimenting with it. You're going to find baby steps lead to these big mountains of beauty and abundance. So again, my heart is with you. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.